been talking about this couple for a hot minute, Mike Mondo and Shiko Nguru. She's called Shiko, yeah? Yes. So Shiko was previously married to content creator and influencer Ramsey, and their breakup was very loud and a lot of bitterness and a lot of back and forth going on. And then fast forward, she got into a relationship with Mike Mondo, and these people have been in love. Regardless of what the haters have to say about them, they have just been in their own space, doing the most, just chilling, living their best lives. They're always smiling. They always look like they're happy, like all is at well with the world. The rest of us are just making noise. Now, they decided to open a new platform. It's a new platform, Untitled with Shiko and Mike. If you do remember that Shiko and her former husband had their own podcast or their own platform that was the Green Calabash, and let me tell you, ilikuwa ina donjo. As in, it was the first of its time, and it felt like they were breaking barriers, they were doing something new. Anyway, that didn't work out, and that is okay. Now, on her new platform with her fiance, podcast with her fiance, Untitled with Shiko and Mike, they're talking about their struggles with their toxic ex-partners. Yes, they went there. And Mike Mondo goes into detail explaining how it was so scary to leave the person he was in, regardless of the fact that this relationship was very, very toxic. So much so that he felt the need to commit suicide, to unalive himself just to get out of the situation. And then he would look back and think, if I subtract myself from the situation, what about my kids? You know, if I die right now, who's going to give my kids everything they require? Went on to say that it wasn't more specifically like his first child, but rather his second-born child. He just felt like if he was to leave this woman, he would never have access to his second child. And it's such a scary place to be at, where like, do I just compromise and put up with you even though our relationship is not working so that you don't keep my child away from me? Or do I just make that brave step and get out of the situation and then fight you in court for me to have, you know, access to this child? And it's such a difficult place to be at. They are both they both have children from previous marriages. Shiko has 3 children, Mike Mondo has 3 children, and then now they've come together and they have this beautiful blended family going on. But it is a difficult space to be at. Shiko also had a perspective about, you know, how people are labeled as the bitter baby mama. And her ex-partner has been very loud on the internet, calling Shiko out and saying, you make it very difficult for me to have, you know, to spend time with my children. You're always coming up with something new, you're always bringing something on me. And he's very vocal about the fact that he does not see his children as much as he would like to. And Shiko said, I know there's a stereotype out there that women go with kids and they do not want the dads to see them on purpose. But I know of single moms who are not of that case. As a mom, you want your children to have a relationship with their biological dad. It is something that I've always done and I will always do, because how does it benefit me to deny them that relationship? So it's a complete opposite to what her ex-husband is always saying on the internet. So we don't know who's saying the truth. We can only speculate. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. But at the end of the day, I am just happy that they have found happiness. You know, their previous situations did not work out for them. And here they are thriving, living together, on a podcast together. I'm just happy for them. I have no hate for them whatsoever.
Yeah, I think it's one of those situations where breakups can be so difficult that it becomes blindingly easy for you to make the other person a villain. And Shiko has clearly been very quiet about it.
Yeah.
So you can clearly see that, yes, much as, you know, this one guy is saying, oh, she's horrible, she's not allowing me access to my children, you're like, okay, why does she seem very level-headed about it? It's one of those situations where one person is bitter about the ending of a relationship and therefore they are making your life a living hell. Anyway, back to their podcast. It's cute to see them thriving in this way. Clearly she is meant to be a social media content creator. Regardless of which platform she gets into, she will get you. And I love that every time she has a partner, she's always trying to get them into that space as well. Because Mike Mondo has been a celebrity and a radio presenter for how long?
Longest time.
where has the podcast been this whole time? Do you know what I mean? So you can clearly see that she has an impact on the partners that she's with, and this ultimately tells a better story, a more clear story than what is being said about her online. We can speculate based on fact, right? Anyway, long story short, I'm happy for them. Can't wait to see what happens with them. And imagine being in that position where, because I see him saying that he's like, should I unalive myself and just leave? But what about my kids? And then on the other hand, he's asking himself, but am I just staying because of the kids? Should I really just leave and forget about all of this? It's a difficult place to be in. And I think today's conversations are very clear on what happens in social media, content creators' lives. It looks like they are living their best lives, but in reality, things are not always what they seem. Because could you have imagined?
No.
You know, not, you know, Desagu talking about his feelings of imposter syndrome, and now Mike Mondo talking about his suicidal ideation.